Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, investors. This is Scott Carson, and I'm excited for this episode. In this episode, if you're an existing and seasoned real estate investor, this episode might be a little repetitive for you. But I know as we roll into Q4 of this year, 2025, and we roll into 2026, one of the big things people start doing is looking at what they want to accomplish for next year. Or they start looking at what did they put down as resolutions or goals for 2025 and realize that they didn't hit them. Well, I'm always a big, huge fan of turning my new year into a 14-month year versus just a 12-month year. What I mean by that? Well, I start planning in October of what I want to accomplish in the next year so that over November and December, while it might be slower in other cases, you might travel a little bit. You got Christmas, you got Halloween, you got Thanksgiving kind of all rolling in the new year. It's hard to get a lot of momentum going, but at least you can start doing some simple things so that 2026 becomes a much more successful year for you. And there are basically 5 things that I'm a big, huge fan of that you need to start doing so that you're prepared for January and February. Because what happens? Most people put off things till January, February, and they're already behind the 8 ball. January and February, you're going to see a lot of people wanting to do some things. And it's kind of like people going to the gym. It's packed January 2nd, and it's vacant by February 1st. You know what I mean? New Year's Day is kind of busy. Valentine's Day, people are already sloughing off for the most part. And I don't want you to do this because these are 5 things that everybody has to do. And from somebody who's worked with so many, thousands and thousands of real estate investors across the country through our podcast, and then also going out and working with hundreds of investors in their local markets, not just in the Texas market, but across the country. There are some really basic things to do, but you have to put them in place. And instead of waiting to the last minute, start doing it now for you, okay? Now, what am I going to talk about? Let's share my screen here so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. We can go from there, all right? This is not rocket science stuff, but these are things that are very important for you to do. Okay. Now I'm talking to you like you're a brand new investor. Okay. Like you're a 5-year-old. Well, 5-year-olds are probably doing this, but let's just say an 18-year-old then because you're legally doing it. The first thing you got to do is you got to go get an LLC. All right. Yes, people say, well, can I use my self-directed IRA? Yeah. Can I use a land trust to buy? Yeah. But let's just be smart here. Okay. Let's just quit trying to be the cheapest and the biggest know-it-all. Go get you an LLC. An LLC is pretty easy here in the state of Texas and costs you about $300 registering the name on the Secretary of State and going and getting you a tax ID number from the IRS website. Obviously, if you're investing in Texas from outside other states, it's good to have a local Texas LLC. Maybe it's cheaper to do an LLC in Mississippi or South Carolina. If you're in California, you're looking to invest in Texas, guess what? You're going to pay an $800 filing fee to be co-named on an LLC anywhere. So that's what your fair weather tax is for living in California. The best thing is if you're living here, go get you an LLC, create a tax ID number, go open your checking account, savings account, those things. Those are exciting things to do. And those are much more important than going down and just filing like a doing business as. Doing business as gives you no asset protection. Yes, it's going to be like $20 to do your local appraisal county recorder's office to record that. But go create your LLC. It's the first step of doing business. It adds value to you. You got a separate LLC. It's a little bit of asset protection. We can talk about that in a later episode. The next thing you need to do, go open yourself a self-directed IRA. Now, we're going to have an IRA expert on talking about the different options for opening a self-directed IRA, whether you do a regular traditional, a Roth, an ESA, opening an HSA, a solo 401k, a SEP, or doing like a checkbook access, a checkbook or self-directed IRA LLC is another option for you too. But going and opening a self-directed IRA, put $100 in there, get it started. It's so important for you to do because you can start using that. It will help you eliminate some other things and also start building a little bit of a nest egg for your retirement. And there's some great things that you can do with your self-directed IRA. Doesn't need to be a lot of money. For most of you guys that are working a regular JOB, to start your Roth IRA. If you're below what that income level is, start your Roth IRA so you have something to start putting assets into if you want to use the money in your IRA for a rollover, or just have it to start doing some things. Because you don't have to have a lot of money in your self-directed IRA. You can start doing some options and wholesaling and other things like that, or small note balances. There's a lot of things to use with small balances in your IRA. You might as well put it to work for you. So go open it up. Okay. Now, depending on where you're located. Now, if you're living in a major city, it's pretty easy to find a local real estate investment club or real estate investing association. Okay. The ways that there are two different ways. You can always go to National RIA, National RIA, that's REIA, nationalria.com, and see if there's a National RIA group in your local market. Okay. Now, here in Texas, we've got National RIAs are in San Antonio, Houston. I think there's one in Dallas as well to take a look at it. But the ones in Houston and San Antonio are run by the same guy, and that's fine. You got Ray Sasser, I believe, is the guy that runs that for both of those groups. Or it's the one in San Antonio is called Alamo RIA versus the Houston RIA, but it's the Alamo RIA there. Join your local RIA group. Now go attend. Most of the time, it's not going to cost you the first time to visit. I would get out and start talking to people now. They're going to meet like once a month. There are probably, if you're in a bigger city, you're going to have multiple opportunities in different RIAs that work. But go out there, mark your calendar, go out and network on a Wednesday, a Thursday night, a Tuesday night. They're going to meet on a Saturday morning. Go join your local RIA because that's going to come in very, very handy for points 4 and points 5. Don't be a stranger. Most of these RIAs will have members, and you can find out what's working in your market, but also how to put your team together. Now, I know many of you got in real estate because you don't want to work with people, you're tired of your job, but you're going to need a team of professionals no matter what you end up doing. Not that it's going to cost you anything to put a team together, but really you need to first and foremost, you need to find a real estate agent, all right, a realtor that works with real estate investors. And most people will know somebody that works well at the local RIA. Hey, I'm looking for a real estate investor agent to help me pulling comps, submitting contracts, stuff like that here local. And that's if you're investing in your local market. Okay. If you're investing out of state or out of your market, it might make sense for you to drive or fly to that market to attend a RIA club to start putting your team together. I mean, you can do it virtually. There's nothing wrong with that, picking up a phone call on Google and other things. But go to your local RIA and start connecting with people. Now, also, if you can't find anything on the national RIA, you can go to meetup.com. Meetup.com, put your city in. It's free to log in. Put your city and then type in real estate. And there's a little spot for what you're looking for. So real estate, it'll pull up a whole bunch of different groups and then pick on groups, not events, but groups. And then start looking at the bigger groups and see if they're still meeting or when they meet. Okay. But when you go to the meetup group or go to the RIA club, start talking to people. Who's a good realtor you can use? Who's a local hard money lenders? Who's a good investment friendly title company? Who do you guys use for closings? Is there a mobile notary? And then start looking also for other vendors like painters and handymen, contractors, plumbers, electricians, roofers, local hard money lenders who are lending money on fix and flips. Yeah, we do a lot with notes, but there are still also ways to fund deals through hard money lending. It's not use your own. Okay. And ultimately, start looking and talking to people who are potentially private money investors to fund you deals. I can't tell you how amazing it is to talk to people who have no clue about raising private capital. I was on a podcast yesterday with a guy out of Denver who's a realtor up there. And I was asking, he's selling off his traditional rentals to move into the multifamily space. And I was like, oh, is that working well in your neighborhood? He goes, well, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? You're selling all your stuff to get off into it. Well, I'm looking for like 100 units in different parts of the country, not necessarily Denver area. It's like, okay, that's fine. And he goes, I'm starting a fund. I'm like, that's great. By starting a fund, you're looking to raise capital. How are you marketing for capital? Well, I haven't gotten around for that yet. Well, you don't need to put a fund together to raise private capital. It's kind of like putting the cart before the horse. When you're starting off as a new real estate investor, you want to start talking to people about what you're doing. Find out, number 5, what's working in your market. Actually, if you want to stay in your local market, what actually is working? Is it wholesaling? Is it fix and flipping? Is it small balance apartments? Is it wholesaling? Is it Airbnb? Every market's completely different. Okay. And one thing we're going to be doing, obviously, is bringing on people in different markets out there for what's working, like we've always done before. All right. With our other podcasts, we've done that, seen in different markets and stuff like that. But if you're in the Texas market, yeah, we're going to try to bring on the local experts in for the whole how to invest series or how to invest in real estate series for you. And we're actually going to do one thing better for you. We're actually going to spend some time going through the bigger markets: Austin, San Antonio, Corpus, Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth, and show you how to find private investors at your local county, the appraisal districts, the recorder's office. Texas is very friendly. and it's a great place to invest. We'll show you how to find those people and what to say to them, how to reach out to them to help you, because that's one of the big questions I literally get from people all the time. People want to get into wholesale and real estate, but they don't, or wholesale and notes, but they don't want to own anything because, and I ask them, why don't you want to own anything? Well, I don't have the money, or I don't have the credit, I don't have the financing. Okay, that's fine. Do you know about hard money lending to buy property? Well, they know about that. Do you know about DSCR loans? We'll talk about an expert about that. I'm excited. We've lined up the head honcho over at Longhorn Investments, who lends across the state of Texas, to be on the podcast here. Or I want to do subject to deals. Okay, great. We'll talk. We actually got Alan Shesker, who's an attorney out of Austin, who really is educating people how to do subject to deals right in the Texas market. So we'll have him on. But find out what's working in your market. Talk to other people. Who's closing on what. Don't be a wallflower. Go talk to the president. Introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm a new I'm a new real estate investor or note investor. Who here in this group should I talk to? Who should I sit next to? Who's doing deals that I can talk to? Because the reason you want to start going out in November, December, it's going to obviously get a little smaller. People are missing out for travel and vacations. But then January, February, and March, those are the busiest. That's when more people show up to real estate investing clubs than any other time in the country. It's also the easiest to raise capital because people show up with the intention of doing something. But do they usually end up doing something? No, they don't. About 90% of people don't do. So you, the 10% that I'm talking to is listening to this, are obviously doing something, right? So it's an opportunity for you to show up, to network, and get rocking and rolling. Now, there's other things that you want to do marketing-wise. Once you create an LLC, you want to go and update your socials, your social media like LinkedIn and Facebook about what you're doing. You probably going to want to identify after you go to your team. You could really put together like a one-page flyer. Who's on your team? What are you doing? Who are you using? Okay. And who's on your team is going to vary depending on what kind of strategy you target. If you're targeting notes, you're probably going to add a servicing company. If you're targeting fix and flippers, you're going to want to target basically who your lender is in a lot of cases, stuff like that. But that's the most important thing is start realizing these things. Creating an LLC can take you a day or a couple, maybe an hour once you get on the Secretary of State's website, making sure that the name's available and filling out the paperwork, paying your fee, and then going from there. Open a self-directed IRA. You can go to any self-directed IRA company out there, and that would take about a day or two to get the account open, and then to fund it would take a couple of days, okay? Join your local RIA club. That's going to take you literally going to meetup.com or the National RIA Club and looking to see what's open, and then marking it on your calendar at 10. Show up. Trust me, people. Take some business cards. That's one thing you can create. Business cards? Who does that anymore? The real serious people still do business cards, okay? Of course, you can always put your LinkedIn QR code on your phone. I do that at different events when people don't have business cards or stuff like that. If I run out of them, like, hey, let's scan this, and we can connect on LinkedIn or Facebook, however you want to do that. Do you need a website? Yeah, you need to have a website, but you don't necessarily need a website right now. You can use a one-page landing page. You can get a free landing page if you sign up for like MailChimp as a CRM tool. And what's a CRM tool is a customer resource management tool. I like REI Black Book. We'll have Damon Ramey from Black Book REI on here. Is probably the best CRM for new real estate investors. We'll have him on here again for you. Talk about that. But those are little things you don't have to worry about right now. These are the big 5 things. The other stuff you can do is you fill in. A website's pretty easy. A logo's pretty easy to do. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars. Like the city of Austin's just spent like literally over $500,000 coming up with a logo that's a shitty logo. I could have created something just like that in Canva for like $100. Okay, so Canva's pretty easy to start looking at things, picking up colors, all that stuff that you'd like to have your logo. Pretty simple to create. Guys, just start adding things to your schedule to look professional. And yes, you'll need a website. You'll need to start probably create some content about what you're doing and what you're talking about. And that's either for like an executive summary you create or like a YouTube video. But let's keep it simple here. Create an LLC. Go open a self-directed IRA and put $100, $200 in it. Okay. Join your local RIA. Okay. That may be 15 to 20 bucks a month to show up at an event. Okay. Put your team together, and your team consists, again, realtors, title, a closer, and a real estate attorney there locally. They can help you with foreclosing or documents, or helping putting agreements together. Okay. And then your vendors, painters, electricians, plumbers, roofing. Okay. Probably even some may find some folks or companies that do all that stuff. And then also looking at and connecting with other investors in your area, your DSCR lenders, if that's something, DSCRM lenders, if you're doing that. Like I said, your hard money lenders and your private investors, but building a network of investors to talk to. And as you go and connect with people, you grab business cards, start putting that into a database and start talking to people. Hey, let's meet for coffee or meet for over Zoom or meet for breakfast someday. One of the greatest things I always loved doing when I would go out on the road early on, when first started working with investors 20 years ago, is when we'd start putting a team together. We'd go to the local RIA club. I would go out and spend 4 to 5 days with somebody in their market. Okay. And the first thing that we would do is, okay, let's plan this on when your local RIA meets. And then we would meet with a title rep, a hard money lender, and then try to talk to a realtor or two, all in the same time frame, to put a team together, to somebody to reach out to help them. Okay. And then also, who else is on your team? Your coach, the person you're relying on. Maybe you want to throw me on your team there to help you out as well with questions. As always, you can book a phone call at talkwithscottcarson.com. I'm always glad to help you. And start that networking. Start getting the word out to your database of what you're doing and what you want to do. It's a New Year's resolution. Hey, I want to start diving into real estate. It's one big thing. I want to start being a real estate investor. I want to be a landlord. I want to be a note investor. I want to be Airbnb. There's so many different activities out there, but it's up to you to find out what's working in your market or the markets that you want to focus on. Here in Austin, Texas, a lot of folks, oh, I'm not going to buy in Austin, expensive, so I'm going to San Antonio. Oh, San Antonio is not working so well. I'm going to go to Houston, or I'm going to go to Corpus Christi, or I'm going to go to DFW. Doesn't matter. Identify what's working in your market. Make the choice to show up to your local RIA or local RIA in your market. Maybe you need to fly. Maybe you need to drive 2 or 3 hours. It's going to be well worth an investment of your time. Find out what events are going on. Many of your local RIAs are going to have end-of-year Christmas parties or vendor nights that you can learn from and connect with and put a whole team together, lead sources, foreclosure leads, whatever it might be, all together in one spot in just a few hours. All right. So those are the things that you need to do. If you've got these things, great, you're off rock and rolling. Now let's go find what's working in your market and then start that marketing to work it out. And I'm excited. We're going to have some different folks on. Like I talked about earlier, we're going to have Alan Shesker on to talk about subject to deals. We're going to have Micah Nicholas, is my buddy from Probate Leads, U.S. Leads List. We're going to have the guys from Foreclosure Listing Service here, or the Roddy List, coming back on, Jack Zagunis, to talk about that. We're going to have Arnie Aberson talk about tax liens. And then we've also got a bunch of other folks, local professionals, to share what's going on in their market that's working for you. Okay. So like I said, if you have any questions, you want to talk real estate, figure out things, feel free to reach me at talkwithscottcarson.com. That's talkwithscottcarson.com. We are here to help you take advantage of what's going on. And make sure, guys, too, that you go and follow me on LinkedIn. And, I'm just the one Scott Carson there on LinkedIn. We're starting to see a lot more distressed debt, a lot more stressed deals out there. And if you're looking for stuff in your markets and stuff like that, reach out to me. Let me know what markets you're looking. We might just have some deals for you that you can dive into. So go take some action, and we'll see you at the top, everybody. Bye. Get going. Like I said, turn 2026 into a 14-month year, and you'll be a lot more successful by just taking these little steps to get done before the first of the year, because you never know what's going to fall on your lap come December. Because December, we see a lot of deals that get reduced and offered up at prices that you probably wouldn't see the rest of the year, because they want to get it closed before the end of the year. So get started, go put this stuff together, and we'll see you at the top, everybody. Bye. Hey, real estate investors. So you want to dive into the world of note investing, but don't currently have the funds to sign up for an expensive class or a workshop or one-on-one coaching. Well, then you definitely want to check out the biggest bang for your buck in the note world. And that's our WCN membership. It gets you an all-you-can-learn access to our class workshop replays, tapes, weekly coaching calls. For $97 a month, it's the biggest bang in the note industry, because you get access weekly with me. You can book one-on-one phone calls with me. As we get different tapes in, we'll share them with our members after our one-on-one coaching students get access to us. We share a variety of tools, like I said, replays to the previous workshop, special discount codes to other events that you can take advantage of to help you get more bang out of your dollar every month. We've been investing in notes for over 20 years, and one of my biggest passions is helping note investors, big and small, get started buying notes. Yes, I got started years ago with no money, no savings, and no list. And I love helping people close on their first deal, get their first private funding partner to help them fund more deals and help them both make above average returns. If you're looking for somebody to help you take your note investing from 0 to 60 and want to get started, my WCN membership is a great place to get started. Like I said, we upload lists to it, video training, coaching calls for $97 a month. What can go wrong? The only thing we ask is you hang around for 6 months, and then if you don't like it, you can cancel. But check it out at noteumbrella.com. That's noteumbrella.com. That's our WCN membership. Get looking at assets today. Start putting your fingers on the trigger to pull the trigger on some note deals here before too long. Yes, anybody can buy notes. I don't care your age, your savings, what race, color, whatever it is. Note investing is all about what action you take. And the first action you should take is signing up for our monthly membership at $97 a month. That's noteumbrella.com. You can also access it by going to weekclosenotes.com and checking on the monthly membership. But we are here to help you. Scott Carson, the Note Guy. We look forward to seeing you at the top.